All right, folks, good morning. It is about 8:15 on Wednesday, August the 28th, and we are in our daily recap where we're taking a look at the market yesterday. And so let's take a look at first here in our spiders, okay? So a couple of the things that I want to point out, right? We've drawn this somewhat arbitrary trend line here in the market, and so I want to go ahead and point out a couple of things. One, we talked about the inside day that the overall market had 2 days ago, and so yesterday we saw a gap up. I tried to get filled in a couple of positions up here in the major market and didn't get those filled, but we saw that we gapped up and then lost all of the gap. We challenged this trend line, and the trend line ultimately held. Now today we're already at 285.80, so we are in this area right here, which is below the trend line, right? So it looks like we might have a trend line break, which means that for me, at least for a while, this trend line is going to act as resistance. Okay, so as I look to place new trades on, that is really what I'm going to be looking at here in the overall market. Is this trend line acting as resistance, especially if we close below it today? Right, we're gapping down. 286.87 is where we closed yesterday. We are gapping down, so I think that is worth noting. VIX stayed elevated yesterday. We're above that 21. We are above that 21 level. So we are bearish on securities right now. Again, this box is where I always like to look at being bullish on securities, and we are certainly bearish. You're seeing the same thing with the Qs, right? That this trend line is really navigating as some support. But if we open below it, and let's go ahead and extend this line to the right. If we open below it, then we are showing that we are coming to a major decision point, right? A major decision point. It's been super choppy lately, right? But we have been moving, and it looks like that we are getting ready to reach a point where we're either going to have a breakout or a breakdown. And my guess, as the market is gapping down, right, is that we're going to have a breakdown. I think that we're finally going to have this decision point, and we're going to have this breakdown here. We often talk about the IWM as being a leading indicator, and so that is exactly what we're seeing. Is we're seeing the IWM lead the market a little bit, and we're already seeing that breakdown, right? So 184.85, we're gapping down 50 cents, and we are seeing this breakdown. Okay, so we are down here in this area, and it's looking like we're going to see a breakdown. Okay, so this is really where we're at. I did get into a couple of volatility positions yesterday because, again, that's part of my long-term strategy. Here is to make sure that I'm always navigating volatility, because any potential jump here, even if we break down, challenge this 200 simple moving average, and then scoot back up even to resistance, if we get any level of chop like this, as you can see here, a little bit of chop, really, I would guess since 8.2. Yeah, it's funny how these are always so like each other, right? And so we see this gap down, and then finally 8.1, 8.2 is finally above this box, and we've seen this chop right in here. We've seen this chop just as we've seen the chop right in these levels, okay? And so, I've still made money on volatility even through here, because we sell into this pop, right? We sell into that pop, sell into that pop, sell into that pop. We sold into this pop yesterday, right? And so we're selling into this pop here in VIX and UVXY, because what we want to do is really have positions on, sell into some of that strength way out of the money, and then see if we can't ever not get there, right? Because we are still going to have some level of contango loss, even if there's a little bit of backwardation gain on these positions. Okay, if we go and we take a look at volatility, you can see here that we've been in this level of chop. You can see here in UVXY, so we've got some positions that are all the way up in here, right? ZIV and SVXY are not looking super great, but that's okay. And then of course we have our SPY right here, just as we take a look at volatility. Interestingly, we were up in all of our volatility ETPs, but really even on the volatility of volatility. And so we're still waiting to go large here if we get this mark here at 115. So for today, certainly looking at a gap down, and we'll see how we want to play that. Even over the course of this video, we're seeing a little bit of movement. You know, I mean, if we were to open up our show extended hours trading and then make this a 5-day 5-minute. So this is our extended hours. You know, we got up right up here, challenged this 200 5-minute simple moving average, but then really we've just been down, man. We have been down, and it'll be interesting to see where we open, but I'm certainly bearish on our equities, right? Certainly bearish. We are below our 9 EMA, we're below our 50 simple moving average, and it's looking like we're going to challenge this 200 simple moving average, especially if we see this trend line break. All right, folks, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Ryan, R-Y-A-N, @sellthatoption. Otherwise, let's have a great day.